Carrie and Big, toxic AF. Do people still say AF? I didn't know, but you know, it's slashy. Hey guys, I know if you're listening, this is odd, but maybe you're just popping in. It's Pod in the City. Every week we're dropping deep dives on something about Sex in the City or and just like that. So far we've done Che Diaz as a hack. We talked all about how Michael Patrick King ruined and just like that, and the legacy of Sex in the City. Last week we talked about how they ruined one of our beloved characters, Miranda Hobbs, and this week we're talking all about how Carrie Bradshaw and Mr. Big are not the love story that they really want us to believe, right? Do they?
Yeah, I thought they were. I used to look at them as she finally got her man. And I think that's how a lot of us in our 20s thought, right? Like she finally got the one that got away. She got him. And now looking back,
you think that they built us up to that. And now I think that the show kind of tricked us by showing us like in the last season, somewhere along the line, maybe months ago, I mentioned this. So what you should do is you should subscribe, hit like and share, hit the bell notification and bell thing too, because then you'll know when our videos come up or when we go live every Friday at 2 p.m. EST. Also join our Patreon. It's patreon.com/podinthecity over there. And just like that, oh God, no, All Stars 2, Smash, and Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, I've now forgotten, so.
Oh, well, I mean, that's it. Just come and join our Patreon. There's so much fun stuff
there was a point that I was making before I started that.
By the way, really quickly, Halloween's coming up. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you join us on our live. We do lives every Friday, you guys. And we talk about the And Just Like That episode. And then after we're done with And Just Like That season 1, we're doing Sex in the City season 4. So we'll watch an episode. We all come together on Friday and talk about it. Right now, we're about to do season 1, episode 5, which is called Another Widow's Trash or something like that, right? Sex and the Single Widow. Sex and the Widow, I think is what it's called.
I don't know, gross. Anyway, And Just Like That is an atrocity and it should be burned. And you know, that'll be an interesting topic here. I guess we could kind of chat about what ended up happening with Carrie and Big, because if you've watched And Just Like That, Big dies in the first episode and Carrie doesn't call 911 and lets him die. But that was a conscious choice. They wanted him to die in season 3, the third movie that they were going to make. And then they wanted Darren Star. I read an article today that said Darren Star never wanted Carrie and Big to end up together.
Really?
So I don't know. They ended up killing him off. Do you think that was the right move? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Do you think it was right to kill off Big? Like, do you think they did that right? Should they? I'm on the place where like I wish they would have not let him, but I wish they would have had him be in a few episodes and then kill him off, because I feel like it would have been more impactful. Because the only clue they show us about their relationship is them like cooking once in the kitchen in that episode of And Just Like That, and then he dies.
Did you see that somebody wrote in our comments, oh, the not too much salt was a reference to Big telling her that when they're talking about the salmon, he says not too much salt. And I'm like, that was referencing that. And I do believe that that's what it was. But this is, again, the problem with And Just Like That is they don't set things up. They don't give anything depth enough. They're too busy focusing on how soon can we get a man pissing into a toilet?
How can we use like a beloved character to make fun of them and make them a piece of shit?
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, interesting.
So Big, I think that Big should have, and everyone thinks this, is that it should have been like some kind of Ponzi scheme situation, or like the movie Blue Jasmine, Alec Baldwin. She finds out all the way at like after all these years that like he's going to jail, she loses everything, she goes crazy. If Carrie had to, and I think that actually it would be a pretty easy transition because Carrie was dirt poor as far as Sex and the City goes. For so long, she did struggle. I think she could be able to pick life back up again from the bottom. And that would be an interesting story since everyone in current day is losing everything they have, unable to buy property. There's a housing crisis. It would be interesting to watch a woman in her 50s restart from nothing.
We also said in somewhere that and just like that would have benefited from someone who wasn't just like a billionaire. It would be nice to have some like, I know we don't need realism in it, but like, it's hard to connect with someone who has $500 million and can buy a $10 million apartment and then bitch about a beeping in it and then sell it and then buy another. Like, where am I connecting to this character? Because I'm not. In fact, I think that the way that they handled ultimately Big's death was kind of like, oh yeah, my husband died, but she like doesn't really talk about it.
And then I thought that they might be leaning toward, because there's the episode where her and Aiden are Airbnb-ing Che's apartment in Hudson Yard. And Carrie's like, I made a mistake. I thought that they might continue that, which would probably be at least something where she does then take all of season 3 to figure out, I really shouldn't have married Big. I fucked up. But then they never really go back to that. So she just kind of never mentions him again.
Something they could have explored was if she did feel like that was a thing, maybe then there's like her finding guys who are like, which tends to happen if you're in a relationship with a certain person and it goes incredibly toxically and it's bad and whatever, you often leave that relationship and you're like, I'm going to find the opposite of that. I'm going to find like the complete opposite of this person. So it could have been interesting to see Carrie pursuing anti-Big like men, like the opposite of Big, which I think they tried to make Aiden be, but he became so insufferable and just like that it's like, I didn't want to root for them at all.
Well, me and Jody are currently exploring this concept about how, like, Christine and Sister Wives especially, but like, even if we think we found a great new guy, I'm never going to date someone like that again. Are we really just dating the same person over and over? Because I feel like
Sorry, there's a cricket in my house, and could you hear it?
Yeah. No, your echo cancellation is probably knocking it out. But where was I going? Oh, are we all dating the same person over and over? Because I think the Brad, who I married, was very much my Big. I always thought of it like that. I would date nice guy. Not that Brad isn't nice, but he was more of like a very hard man to get. Brooding and just a complicated man. We can agree with this. Mm-hmm. And I would date some nice guys. I get bored.
Committed to his performing craft and just think about
absolutely that. Number one, just that's complicated person. So fine. So then I got that out of my system. Done. And then I date more people. But even now, when I date these nice guys now, I'm so bored. And then the people that I am the most attracted to are exactly like Brad.
Okay, though I think that's a common feeling is like things that are scarier or like more like, ooh. Once you like get a rein on it, you're like, ooh, I did that. It's like you're like, I was the one who.
That's what I meant earlier when I said it ultimately comes down to I won this.
Yeah. Which I guess Carrie won.
I mean, she would have spent the rest of her life wondering what if he would have been the one who got away.
Yeah.
But then also Aiden was technically also maybe he's the one that got away, but it turns out Aiden sucked too.
Okay. Here's a problem I have is why did we spend 8 to 12 episodes developing Aiden and hers thing and then less than 1 episode on her and Big?
They wanted to get him out of there immediately, though, because again, as Michael Patrick King knows that we don't know about ourselves, is we don't want the nostalgia.
Speaking of the nostalgia, okay, so what are some instances that you would look back on the original series and think, like, God, this relationship is like a mess? Well, like maybe when they're cheating
with each other. Let's actually try to think of some like really healthy moments for them.
Well, when she brings in the pizza and she says, get it while it's hot.
I think their most healthy moments.
And says bonjour.
Their most healthy moments, I think, are when they're not dating and they're just hanging out as friends. Now that I think of it, because the I Love New York episode where she goes over and they play Moon River, that's a great episode. And when they're hanging out with the jazz guy and they're just friends, that's kind of when they work the best because they're both in a position of power.
in a way, I don't hate that one episode where it's Carrie's birthday and Big is getting like the lap dance, not lap dancing, but there's like belly dancers all around.
Yeah.
And they're not technically together then. And I don't know.
And then also the train episode, The Big Journey, that's another healthy episode. She goes there just to get laid. There's no feelings involved. And then he's like, I read your book. I really fucked you up. I'm so sorry. But then they do sleep together and they end that great too. They're friends.
It's hard though, because so much of their stuff is just crap. Like from the beginning, and I know this is how television and shows and things work, but I mean, even from the first episodes, it's bad. Like according to her friends, it's a problem. It's annoying. You know, when she tries to go get back with him, Miranda, and is it just Miranda? Someone is like, no, fuck you, bitch. I'm not going to listen to you bitch about him again and again.
Miranda. But then in our rewatch, or on our first watch, I guess, of Sex and the City, we're noticing Big isn't really doing anything that wrong. It's constantly Carrie getting ahead of shit and freaking out, which, look, I can relate more than anyone to that. But that's kind of like, he's created boundaries. She's not being clear with him. Several times he's saying to her, what do you want from me? Oh, and then she says, and he goes, okay, yeah, sure then. Yes.
I would also, though, argue that he really has that one man quality down where it is like, where the girl's like, well, why didn't you say something to me or whatever? And they're like, well, I didn't think you would care or whatever. Like he is withholding and then acts surprised
and also plays dumber. Yeah. Like you should know that this woman wants a ring.
You're withholding. You know what you're doing. Like, so you can't say like, oh, I'm not doing that, or like I'm.
You know what another fun one is that me and Jody both love is, I didn't tell you because I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want you to get mad. You would just get mad if I told you. Oh, it's my fault. I would have made.
I have an experience of that, of someone doing that to me, and when I think maybe that might be the closest I've ever been to like wanting to choke someone out. Because first of all, I hate when someone lies. I'm like, I feel like for me, it's you're testing my intelligence in a way. Like, you think I'm too stupid to realize that you're lying. And so if you're I've gotten the same thing. I didn't want to be honest because I thought I knew you'd be upset.
This is why Tom Sandoval doesn't break up with Ariana. He's like, well, should we just kill ourselves, dude?
I knew you'd be upset.
Yeah.
Oh, so what you're saying is you're a little bitch and you didn't want to take accountability.
I would make you
want to get yelled at because you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
You little. Oh my God.
But Big isn't really doing that either. Carrie. And then, like, I remember in the first breakup,
they're distanced. They're far on different ends of the spectrum as far as how they need a relationship to go. Carrie needs to know everything, be up in your business, be like, and she needs someone who's also like, it's okay. You can be as neurotic as you need to be and be all worried and worked out.
He does say that. And even she asked him point blank, how do you see a situation where this is where she wants to leave her hair blower at his house? And he goes, my ideal relationship is exactly this. I have my life. You have your life. You have your place. I have my place. We hang out when we want and we don't hang out when we don't want to. So isn't that pretty much, he laid it right out there for her and then she took that and freaked out.
I think that a lot of what's come out after the years of Sex and the City, et cetera, is how terrible Carrie Bradshaw is. And I mean, she kind of is.
Yeah.
And so it's hard because while I look at it, if he's laying it out like, I don't want to ever do this, that, and the other. Okay. But see, I guess for me in my life, that's enough for me to be like, okay, bye. Well, then I realize I can't do this. If those are their things, like you'd only want to see me certain days. I mean, Amanda, that's Amanda's ideal situation. See once a month, maybe once every 2 months.
Ideal.
And I'll likely cancel on you the day we're supposed to get together. Anyway.
Yeah.
But like for me, I'd be like, no, that's not enough. But Carrie is willing to keep going with it. And so it is a thing. If someone puts out boundaries and you're going to push against those boundaries, you can't expect to then have them roll over and be like, no biggie, I guess.
So is he an asshole for the Paris thing?
Moving to Paris?
No, just like that was like their big breakup. Is she's like, why didn't I'm not even a factor in your life? I do actually think I see where she's coming from there, in that he just didn't think to tell her, like, oh, there's a possibility I might be moving to Paris. Me, as a person who's an oversharer, there's no way I wouldn't tell the person I'm seeing, oh, I have this job opportunity. I might, like, just in general, here's something I'm doing today.
I guess maybe that point just shows kind of that it could be two things. It could be that they're at different places and where they're really wanting to be. And like Big didn't look at his relationship with Carrie as much as Carrie was looking at it of a relationship with him. Or it can be just showing like that's a typical, like, men are oblivious and men are like, whatever. I mean, you see stories about like men who like go out and bought a house without consulting their wife or anything.
Yeah,
like,
Radu did that to me. And then I didn't move, and then it all went downhill after that because he couldn't get control.
Well,
yeah, it's fun.
Big and Carrie, are they toxic? Yes.
I think Carrie's toxic. I don't even know how toxic Big is.
I think their relationship is toxic because from his standpoint too, he allowed this to continue, like,
and he does breadcrumb that drives me nuts more than anything, is the bipolarness. And it especially shows where she dresses up like that Candy Striper. God, she's always dressing up. And he has the heart surgery and he's acting all like open heart. They're making all those puns. And then the next morning he wakes up and he's like in a shitty mood. That would be it for me, though. That would be it.
It would have been it millions of times in their buildup. And so really when you do, I mean, like, isn't that almost like, wouldn't that be by definition a toxic relationship?
And can a man change it?
Like, there's 50 to 100 times you should have broken up by now.
But then he does come to Paris and it is the grand gesture and all three of your girls have given you the go ahead. So I guess, yes, I would also get back together with him after the Paris thing. And also,
okay.
Your other choice is Alexander Petrovsky.
Movie
like
1.
80. Yeah, that's
too big of a bitch to go down the aisle with her.
That's crazy. No, that is crazy.
That falls in line with the show. But then
Now, when I watched the movie with Radu, God, enough Radu mentions here. He is adamantly on Big's. He's like, he came back. He came back, though. He circled the block. He came back. And I think actually a lot of men would take that. I haven't just heard that from him. I have heard other people make that, like, oh, it's not that big a deal. He came back. He changed his mind. So why doesn't she just suck it up and go down the aisle?
See, and maybe I lean more towards that Carrie side, and that where, like,
I'm on Carrie's side 100%.
You've had more than a decade to figure this out. I would have probably killed him. Like, she hits him with the bouquet, like in that iconic scene. I would have kicked him in the balls. I would be just like,
yeah. And I think it's underwritten, his reasoning, because what they have written is that he just wants to hear her say, "It's just you and me." Well, yeah, of course it's just you and me. Like, what did you think is going to happen? I needed more.
That idea in the first movie is that, like, it was just them. But because of the whole wedding thing, Carrie got so wrapped up in the dresses and the magazine features and this.
Maybe he doesn't like her personality. Maybe that's a genuine concern. Then maybe she's turned into like a really annoying person. Like, oh, this is you. This is actually you.
Or there's also times where if you're Big, it seems a lot like Carrie is conforming to what Big wants. Big's life. Maybe if you love your wife enough, or the woman that you're about to marry, you just are like, okay. I mean, Carrie's not an utter bitch about the wedding stuff.
Really. No, she's fine.
It just he doesn't like that when she gets out of the car, he can't see her face.
Right.
The drama. Oh, and then we can't forget the ultimate betrayal. Watching television in bed. From the second movie. I mean, that was their big issue, is that Big wanted to watch TV in bed.
Carrie should not have told him about kissing Aiden, by the way. That is insane that she did that. There was absolutely no reason.
When did she do that? I forgot.
Because are they in Morocco? Where are they? They're in Dubai. And she sees Aiden, and then they go out. She's wearing that Dior thing. Does she kiss him? Yes.
She's wearing the Dior top when she meets him at the souk, because she has like the purple.
Right. But then she goes out with him on the date and they do kiss. And then she tells Big and like, no. And Samantha's the only one with a good head on her shoulders. She's like, you absolutely do not need to tell him that, honey.
And well, he dies after that movie. So, yeah. I mean, what we know is that she tells him about that. Then some years go by, and just like that starts, they cook some dinner in the kitchen, and then he does the Peloton and then dies. Yeah. Tale as old as time. I mean, like, how beautiful.
So who should Carrie have ended up with then? If you were to pick anyone, who does she actually have the best? I think maybe Berger she had the best chemistry with.
There was this doctor guy, I think, that people say she should have ended up with. The guy from
Dr. Bradley Schmiegel.
Is that the same guy? He was from the Hamptons episode.
Yeah, Bradley Meagle, I think his name is.
I also really liked I didn't like the guy that she was with, but when she had Valerie Bertinelli's, the parents, that I liked.
Justin Theroux.
Yeah, Justin Theroux.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know who Carrie should end up with, because ultimately, maybe Carrie's the problem.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
what do you guys think? Let us put comments down below, please. Right now. Right now's the time. First of all, hit subscribe, hit like, hit share, baby. You can even just hit share, copy link, and that's it. Leave us a comment down in the bottom. What are your feelings? Do you think they're toxic? Would you ever?
Carrie have ended up with the Russian? And also next week, I think we should do. Somebody suggested this, but Charlotte Harry couple goals, and I think that would be a nice juxtaposition to talk about why that is a relationship that actually does seem to work.
I would love, guys, let us know down in the comments your thoughts on that, and we'll incorporate into the next one. But my light just went out.
Oh my.
Perfect. Great timing. Well, this is lovely. Anyway, gotta go.
I mean, you can just turn your ring light back on and recover.
It's off.
Okay.
It's out of battery.
Guys, thanks for joining us on this weekly roundup and on this Carrie and Big Toxic AF. Let us know in the comments. Join our Patreon. Like, subscribe, share. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.